My name's Alfie Gilling. I'm the Director of Marketing, Events and Student Recruitment at Global Academy. Some of you on here might have heard of Global Academy before. Some of you might not have ever heard of it, but want to hear about it. I was a student at Global Academy from 2019 to 2023. So for 4 years, I joined in year 10, which is the earliest you can join. I did my GCSEs there and then I stayed on for sixth form. I then went off to work at BBC in the TV industry, decided the TV industry wasn't for me. And because of what I learned at Global Academy, I got enough skills that I could actually change career path at 18 years old. So after getting offered, I did freelance at BBC whilst I was in year 13 as a student, and then offered full time and actually declined it and went to work at Tesco. And that's a privilege to me. Everyone will be like, why would you leave BBC to go work at Tesco? But it's such a privilege to be able to change career path at 18 years old. It's so rare, but also I got enough experience to know what was right for me and what wasn't. So now I work in marketing, which is a bit of a different ball game, but it's much more up my street. And just from what I learned as a student, I got enough skills to actually dabble in both industries, which is really, really useful as well. But that's who I am. And now I work here and have been working here for over 2 years. I'll just share my screen now with you as well.
That's amazing. And what were you doing at Tesco's? Marketing?
No. Literally like click and collect, shop floor. Um,
Oh,
yeah, so I left there because I just finished school, got offered full time, and I thought no, because if I get offered full time, I'm going to be there forever, and I'm not gonna. I would obviously have a career development, but it would be within TV, and I knew I
okay.
wanted to do something else. So I went to Tesco whilst I figured out what I wanted to do and looked at jobs as
God,
well.
that's so amazing because I think so many people are like just take what you have, take what you can get, but the fact that you knew it was clearly not working in your gut or something, or you just knew that it wasn't right for you, making
Yeah,
that decision.
yeah,
And
really.
now,
Yeah, it's one thing also knowing that you don't want to do something, but it's another thing being able to go straight into something as well. When I did start marketing, I did do an apprenticeship in marketing as well. But to be able to actually get offered an apprenticeship and a job in marketing after working at BBC, obviously it's a massive name, but it's a completely different ball game to marketing. I was a production runner, so I did work in an office. I was familiar with that environment, and it was a really great experience. And that's thanks to being a student at Global Academy, and I wouldn't have come back as a staff member if I didn't love it as a student as well. So it's a great privilege, really, to be here today. So let me just try and minimize myself on my own screen so I can see. Um, yeah, so I'm going to put some people on the screen now, and obviously we can't have a conversation about it because this is online, which is fine. You can put in chat, but also you can just think about it as well. Just think about what they all have in common. So if we look at the next slide, we'll see what they all have in common. You might recognize some of them. So we've got a rapper, Central C. We've got a podcaster and TikToker, GK Barry. We've got more TikTokers, YouTubers, rappers, and radio presenters. Obviously, they're in a variety of different areas and different jobs, but what do they all have in common? There's some blonde people, there's some brunettes. It's not anything to do with their hair. It's to do with their jobs. Obviously, they're very different. We've got two rappers, but we've also got social media people. We've also got a radio presenter. We've got a singer. I know George in the top right is currently on Strictly as well. So the one thing they have all in common is they're all celebrities. They're all influencers, public figures, whatever you want to call them. But they're all seen by thousands of people every single day. Every time you go on your phone, you'll see people in this industry. You see people on your TV. You hear them on the radio and podcasts. And that's what we call the creatives and designers. So if you go to the next page, you might see some industries that really stick out to you. So what we think about is who tells their stories, who makes them famous, and who brings all of their ideas to life. Because it's one thing, me putting their face on the screen and you really knowing who they are straight away. But it's another thing, if we go to the next slide, the answer is basically the creatives, the directors, the designers, marketing departments, and producers, because it's a whole team. And then the next slide, sorry, there's a whole host of jobs in the creative industry and the media and entertainment industry about that. And that's across marketing, that's across digital, it's across everything. Because you knew who they were once they put their face on screen, but you don't know who works behind the scenes. And sometimes there's a lot of people working behind the scenes as well to promote everything you see every single day. So if you recognize any of these words to be related to you, if you see yourself in any of them or someone you know, maybe Global Academy is right for you. So do you see yourself as a creative person, someone who loves to take opportunities, that has new ideas, artistic, initiative, passion as well? So it's all of these words kind of relate to that media and entertainment industry, something really creative as well. So, Global Academy, for those of you who haven't heard or that just want to recap of what we are a unique school and sixth form in West London. So, we're based in Hayes and Harlington, and we're a university technical college, which is the UTC. If you haven't heard of a UTC before, there's only around 40, 50 in the whole of the UK. And what they are they're schools that specialize in a certain area. So, of course, I've mentioned it already. We're a school that specializes in the media and entertainment industry. So, everything you see online, every billboard you see, everything that's creative and in that industry is massive, basically. And we start in year 10, as most UTCs. So, we don't have year 7, 8, or 9. Students join us at the start of year 10, which I'll take you through today, or they join us at the start of year 12 for sixth form. And we also have an additional course for anyone 18 years old, which is called year 14, which I'll also mention as well. But yeah, our job is to kickstart careers in that industry so that by the time you finish school as a student, you've got enough experience, knowledge, and opportunities to land a job straight away or get into some of the best universities across the UK as well. So I'm going to talk about our sponsors as well. So some of you might have joined today knowing who Global Academy is. Some of you might not have heard of us, but you might have heard of Global. So Global is our industry sponsor. They basically are the ones who created us. We are global. We're like a global brand. If you don't know what Global is, you might know Capital Radio. You might know Heart, LBC, Radio X, Classic FM, Smooth, Gold Radio. Hopefully you recognize at least one of those stations as well. So they're the UK's biggest radio brands. Heart is the UK's #1 radio brand. And they're all owned by a company called Global. And that's hence why we're called Global Academy, because we are physically owned by those radio stations and our students work with them on a daily basis, and all of the employers over at Global as well. So that's our industry sponsor. We also have a more curriculum educational sponsor, which is the University of Arts London, also known as London College of Communication. So UAL is a real university, but they also do qualifications that are relatable to GCSE and also sixth form as well. So I'll talk about the year 10 and year 12 curriculum in a second. But just remember, UAL is our industry sponsor and a real university as well. And that's how students get their qualifications with us. So we are the industry and the media industry and education working together. We are a school, we are a mainstream school, there's no fees to attend, and we do have high standards. However, we are really, really in that media industry. So these are some brands you might recognize. Obviously at the top, you can see all of Global's radio stations and also their app, Global Player. And then you recognize loads of other brands like Google, BBC, Canon, TikTok, Co-op. These are the biggest brands, and our students work with them across the industry. So it's not just media in the sense of content creation. It's not just media in the sense of marketing. It's across the board as well, including PR, business administration, journalism. It's across the board as well. So this is some of our destinations as well. We have 100% positive destinations with our students, 90% that have graduated since 2018 and now in that creative industry. So that includes studying a creative course at university. So if you can see on the left, some of these universities that our students end up at, this is obviously a small portion. And then the other side is the industry. So some of our students go straight into work, doing freelance work, apprenticeships, internships, or full-time roles within that creative industry. And again, some really, really recognizable brands. And that's because of what they do as a student here. They really get that experience and knowledge as a student with us as well. 60% go straight into the industry after year 13, and only 40% go straight into university. Our aim is that 100% are ready to get a job in that media industry straight away, and then they have the option if they want to, or can go to university to study further qualifications as well. The thing about Global Academy, as I said, we are in West London, but the thing is that everyone gets to tell their story. We are also opening branches in Scotland. We have a new Saturday club, which is free, which I'll also touch on. But that's a free Saturday club in Glasgow. We've also got it in South London, in Croydon, and we've got it in the Global Academy building in West London. And in the future, we're hoping to open year 14s in Manchester and Birmingham as well. So we are going kind of nationwide in a sense. But the thing about us now, currently, we are a school. On the left, you can see a picture of the inside of our building. The thing about Global Academy is because we're so unique, people come from everywhere. Some of our students travel over 2 hours every morning to get into school. Can you even imagine that long travel at 14 years old or 15 or 16 just to come into school, and then you've got to do it after school as well? That's a real commitment, and it's really great to see that people across the country are seeing what we do and are taking that commitment because they really want these opportunities that we provide. And with that comes a lot of diversity, so it's really important to us that we celebrate everyone from all backgrounds, from all cultures. And it's really important that we work together and we're all a massive family because we all want to do the same thing. That's the thing about Global Academy, is in a normal secondary school, you have people that want to be lawyers or footballers or any industry. But the thing about Global Academy, it's still a massive industry, but everyone wants to get into that same industry of media and entertainment. So this is the Saturday Club I was talking about. It's a free Saturday club and it focuses on film and screen, so that TV industry, and it's for 13 to 16-year-olds. We do have one in on site in Hayes in West London. We have one in Croydon and we have one in Glasgow as well. And this is free for 13 to 16-year-olds. It's a really great opportunity. You don't have to be a student to join it. You can just be 13 to 16 anywhere local to those clubs, and you can come every single Saturday and learn using real equipment as well. So it's a great opportunity. So joining us in year 10, what that looks like. So this is a creative curriculum and it's the core curriculum that all students have to study when they join us. As I said, we are a school and you might have thought like, what, do people come here and just make TikToks the whole time? That is a big part of it, but that's definitely not our curriculum. So students that join us in year 10 do English, literature and language. They also do maths and combined science. There is also the option to do further maths and triple science if you want to take your academic studies even further. And PE and PSHE are built into your curriculum as well. Another core subject is the UAL. Again, that's the University of Arts London, Level 2 Diploma in Creative Media Production and Technology. This qualification is equivalent to 4 GCSEs, and that's just one course that has no exams. It's all project-based. So what you create is what you actually get graded on, which is really handy. And imagine being 16 and saying you've already got a diploma awarded by the University of Arts London. So it's a really great qualification. Even on your CV, it's really great to have on there 100%. So these are the next slide is just some of our creative options. So additionally to those core subjects, all students have to pick 2 creative options out of the below. So they could pick art and design, drama, business and marketing, music production, musical theatre, creative computing, electronics, and technical production. So students pick 2 of them out of the rest, and they study them alongside their other GCSEs. And these are GCSEs as well, so you do get those qualifications. And they're all creative based as well. As you can see, we don't do history or geography or Spanish or French. All of our optional subjects are completely related to the media industry. So even stuff like art, it brings in that design side. So graphic design, illustration, and animation. And our business qualification, it covers marketing and social media management. So there's all of those kind of things that loop back into the media industry. Joining us in year 12. So this is obviously after you've completed your year dual GCSEs. So we have creative media pathways, and you basically pick one of these pathways, and that's what you study for 2 years. So instead of a normal sixth form when you do 3 separate A levels, at Global Academy you study one course and it's equivalent to 3 A levels. As you can see, there's a big variety of courses on here, and they're very similar to our year 10 options. The whole idea is that Global Academy is a 4-year journey. So hopefully you've heard about us before you started your GCSEs, and then you join us in year 10 and you do the whole 4 years, which is what I did as a student as well. So the 2 years of your GCSEs, and that's a path up into higher qualifications in sixth form as well. So we've got massive variety again: content, broadcast, technical, business, marketing, journalism. Sports media is our most popular this year. So if you're interested in sports, that's commentating, filming, anything media that's in the sports industry. That's definitely the most popular this year. We've also got music production. So this is a really cool one, and it's quite new as well. It only launched in September 2025, so 2 months ago. And that's the more production side. So we don't teach you how to play guitars. We teach you how to make music, DJ, and be a producer. And then art and design again. And then a new course launching next September is games, animation, and VFX. So again, that's a very unique course. Again, it's equivalent to 3 A levels. And all courses have no exams. So it's 100% coursework. You do a final project, and that's what you get graded on. So it's more for those creative learners that want to express hands-on. So these are our entry requirements for year 12. So to join any of those courses, you'll need 5 GCSEs at grade 4 or above, including maths and English. So that's passing 5 GCSEs, including your maths and your English. And that's just a grade 4, which is a minimum pass rate. And then for the journalism pathway, there are higher grade requirements. So for English, you need GCSE at grade 5 or above. So you still need the above qualifications, but for journalism, you need English at grade 5, which is 1 grade higher because it's journalism. It's all about article writing, interviewing, and articulating. So that's just 1 grade higher. This is some perks that students get to joining Global Academy, and this is across the board, all students in the building. They get access to the Adobe Creative Cloud. If you don't know what Adobe is, it's a company and they are in Photoshop, Premiere Pro for video editing, Photoshop, obviously, hopefully everyone knows what Photoshop is. Illustration, again, that's for Audition. No, I've got it confused. There's too many words. Premiere Pro for video editing, audition for audio editing and Photoshop and Illustrator for Photoshop and illustrating. I've just seen a question actually about journalism, so let me come on to that now. For journalism at 5 in both English language and literature. So we get this question a lot. So my answer to it is only one. So you need a grade 5 in at least one of your qualifications, and not both English language or literature, but you definitely need just one. Also, if you get a 4 in the other one and a 5 in both, that's still one of your GCSEs. So if you get a 3 in one and a 5 in the other English, you can still join journalism as long as you've got 5 other qualifications. So you'd need those GCSEs. I believe this is the final thing I'm going to talk about, so we wrap up on time. The Global Apprenticeship Programme. So obviously everyone has heard of Global. I've just outlined it and their radio stations. You might have also heard, I've forgotten one of the most important things, is their billboards and their outdoor. So I'm sure you've seen a billboard on a train or a bus or outside on the side of a building. And underneath it says Global because they own a massive outdoor advertising company as well. So if you don't know what an apprenticeship is, just a quick run over. It's where you join a job and you work 4 days a week and you study 1 day a week and it's paid. So you actually get a qualification whilst working in the industry. Global offer our students a unique experience. So it's an apprenticeship program across all of their radio stations, across all areas of work. So marketing, producing, PR, advertising, everything that you can think of at those brands. And no one else in the entire country or the world can apply to do an apprenticeship at Global, apart from a Global Academy student. And obviously they're the biggest radio brands. So that's a really unique way of getting into the industry, doing an apprenticeship, learning through Global Academy into that industry and continuing with Global as well.